This is Wednesday night, and welcome back. So this is going to be my first ride to the Thomasburg variety store bike night. It's generally pretty good, small crowd, but it's a nice variety of bikes. And I'm going to take my 31 Ariel, so come ride with me. We'll see you there. And here we go. Just got to adjust the camera up a bit. I think that's it. Down into first. All right. And my mirror needs to be adjusted. And my ammeter's working. What a beautiful night to have a bike night. The last one was canceled due to severe thunderstorms. Last week or so, 2 weeks ago, I attended the Moto Social over in Prince Edward County, and that was a pretty good turnout. And they usually are. As I mentioned, this Thomasburg store, it's a small bike night, but you meet some really great guys, and there we go. And it's a good turnout. There's no I don't know what you call it, you know, when you get the different groups together. It's a nice social event. And I'm not going to be able to see anything out my mirror. 37. This old girl will chuff along at 45 to 48. It'll do 50. But you think that I don't think they were ever made to do that. The roads back here, at least in Canada, were quite bad. And a road test on my 31 Norton, it said they were clipping along at 40 miles an hour, clipping. I can only imagine if you could hit 50 miles an hour on an old 31 Norton or in a 31 Ariel, it'd be probably like doing the ton today. So, and we are approaching the bridge here, and this little creek comes up from Stokel Lake, and it goes up this way a bit, and there's a little pond up there, and all the muskies go up there to breed in the spring, and then they make their way down. Okay, and I'm going to make a turn here. And there's some good muskie fishing if you can catch them, and good pike fishing. This here is corn. And I'll be entering Stokel here, a little village that was once actually a thriving village at the turn of the century. And sadly, if I can remember correctly, I think it was around 1918 or so, maybe earlier, we had a smallpox issue, and a lot of people lost their lives here in the community. And I'll show you something here. It's a little part of the Marlbank Road. We did a history tour a couple of years ago on following the original route of the Marlbank Road. People have no idea what people in the day up until, I'm saying, mid-40s had to do to go from Marlbank to Tweed, or what people on this side of Marlbank had to do, or this side, excuse me, Stokel, And just up on the left here, you can see, and probably in the distance there's a bridge. So the people would have came down right through here, and they would have crossed a bridge that took you out to Marlbank Road. Then you had to do a little zigzag and go down Bethel, because the bridges now that are there were actually beautiful, majestic train bridges. And once here, right there, was the infamous Stokoe Hotel. Back in the 70s, when I went for a beer, you sat with your back against the wall. And I am going to pause filming here. And we are now approaching my turn. And this is it just up here. This is a really nice back road. I can go kind of follow this all the way into Belleville. I have to zigzag some roads here and there, but it takes, most times if you're on a bike, you go down Highway 37, it takes about, I'm just going to close the face shield, it takes maybe half hour. But if I take the back roads, it is close to an hour. And it is nice here. It's just can't believe this weather. It's hot day, but it wasn't like yesterday or the day before, just sweltering. My garage with 2 fans going, said it was 91 degrees. Now there's a cool breeze right there, beautiful. And I'm doing 42 miles per hour. There's a nice old, very old cemetery. But this 31 Ariel, you know, it's not fast. It's got a little, I bumped up the compression a little bit, not much. And I've got G cams and followers in. And nice old car. And what else have I done to it, really? I mean, not much motor-wise. I mean, I have got a brand new Amel carburetor on it. And that makes a big difference. Like I said, what does she do? Produce 20 horsepower on a given day? Who knows, right? But she chuffs along pretty good. And for people who have never ridden an old bike, I think they would be pretty surprised how well these old girls run. And speaking of old girls, there we go, nice big hill. On July 12th, we are holding our 5th annual girder ride here in Lindsay, Ontario. We spent 3 years in Tweed, 1 year in Sterling, and now we're going to be in Lindsay. And we should have a variety of bikes this year. I'm thinking 27 Triumph, we had that last year, but we may have a 27 Sunbeam. We have an immaculate restored 38 Norton ES2 coming. There's going to be, of course, the number of Rudges. And whatever else that the people show up. Maybe we're hoping to have at least 2 or 3 the BSA M20 and the Norton 16H side valves. There are two rides Saturday morning. One for the a short ride for the bikes who would like to go at a slower pace, like the 27, or even I'll do that on the 31. And there's a longer one for guys on the more, let's say the later 30s, 500s that can chuff along comfortably at 50 mile an hour if needed. And you know, it's such, what a joy it is. But you know, it's I can't say enough about these old bikes. When I was riding behind Phil's 27 Triumph last year, I just stayed behind it because the sound was just incredible. And I give credit to these guys in Europe that ride their Ariels or any of the particular bikes great distances, and they don't think anything about it. But here in North America, and it doesn't have to be 1931 or 1920. I'm talking bikes made in the 70s, and you read on the forums, can my 754 Honda make it 2,000 miles? You know, that's, in 2010, there was a bunch of us Kawasaki triple owners, triple Kawasaki Triples Canada, and we rode our triples to Cedar, Michigan for Rick Brett's triple rally. We only had one incident along the way, and that was Walms's 500 or a 400 frame with a 500 motor, and he broke the eyelet shock, and we contributed that to just Chinese made shocks. So I've said it many a times, and I'm a firm believer, these old bikes were made to be ridden. They're not made to be sitting in somebody's showroom or somebody's living room, or, I mean, that's your choice, right? But, and I'm not knocking that, because that is our choice. But I firmly believe that the bike should be ridden. People love hearing them, they love seeing them, and you know, it just makes people's day when you roll up on an old bike and they're going, wow, never seen one, never heard one run. So I was here. This is the Vanderwater Road here, and we're going to go on top of the hill here and then make our way down. And I think this is quite the view here. What do you think? Nice. And I'm going to stop up here and I'm going to tell you a little story. If you're a fisherman here in Ontario, or I would say the northeastern United States, and it's a good one. Now, I've caught these before, but I never ever had this happen. And what are the chances? You guys tell me, has it happened to you? And we should just be approaching the river here. I'll stop yakking here for a little bit and let you listen to the motor. I'll have to turn around briefly here. Nobody behind me. Okay, I'm going to give you a little. Okay, here we go. So let's see if I can do this. No cars. Okay, neutral. So down this way, open my face shield, down this way, Vanderwater Park goes down, and you can go down, and we used to go down there. My dad took me down there. There's rapids around that bed, stepped rapids. You can go swimming, great spot for swimming and picnicking. But at this side of the rapids, it goes deep again. My buddy and I were out fishing the shoreline like this, and I was fishing, I was at the front of the boat, and I was fishing this side of it when I hit and I caught a muskie. I was reeling them in, and as I yelled muskie on, there was a huge explosion in the water, and my buddy catches one. What are the chances are catching two muskie at once in the same friggin' location? Incredible. That's never happened to me. I have caught some nice muskies farther down the river. Just beautiful. It's a beautiful spot. Okay, let's get her into gear and let's head back. Make sure I got no cars coming. And boat launch right there. Here we go. And this road at one time was quite rough, and I could only do maybe 30 miles an hour on it. That's how bad it was. But now they have it paved. It is actually, what am I chucking along here, 45. So, you know, this old Ariel, I gotta admit, man, this thing is, when I first got it together, I had some little bugs to work out. But once I got them worked out, it has been completely friggin' reliable. And I'd have no problem taking it anywhere if I had to. On the way back, if I can leave at a decent time, I'll take you through a part of Thomasburg. I'll give you a little history of Thomasburg. And so at one time, as we're going to be approaching here, Highway 37 runs north to south that goes into Belleville. Up until about mid-50s, you had to come down from Tweed and cut through Thomasburg. And then you would exit farther down to the left here. Where we enter, it's farther down. Then around 1955, maybe, or so, I could be wrong on the exact year, but it's that time period, they actually bypassed Thomasburg. And like in every place they do that, Thomasburg was a thriving village. They had everything. But sadly, it kind of dried up. Now a lot of those businesses are still there. Here we go. Well, we just got a small crowd. Okay, we are here.
Singing strong, let the echo decide if I was right or wrong. Silvio, silver and gold, won't buy back a beat of a heart grown cold. Silvio, I gotta go, find out something only dead man knows. Silvio, silver and gold, buy back a beat of a heart grown cold. Silvio, I gotta go.
I'm having my nice ice cream, and my buddy Walt just showed up.
Hey, brother.
Walt's got a nice 360 we're trying to get going for him, so maybe someday Walt will have his 360 going.
I'd love to have it.
Fingers
out here
crossed.
for a visit.
Fingers
That was
crossed.
great. Thanks again for helping out.
My pleasure, because if you don't ride them, you're hiding them.
That's it,
Remember
brother.
that.
Go, buy back a beat of a heart grown cold. Silvio, I gotta go, find out something only dead man knows.
And that's it. Cool looking chopper. Well, I'm going to take a back road home and we'll go under the canopy of trees. And I'll give you a little bit of history tour on Thomasburg. All right, we are off. Okay, this is Thomasburg. Now back in the day, you would have entered here and you exited just up the road there to get back onto 37. And I believe that was the road right there. You would come in and off of 37. If anybody watching, if I'm wrong, please let me know. This is a really nice road. I enjoy this. We're going to come up here, you're going to see like a canopy of trees. And at times I just wish the road was a little bit longer. You can't beat this. Mother Nature at its best. And just way too short. Back in the sun. Oh, a couple of potholes. Oh, you cannot beat old country back roads, can you? This is just great. A little bumpy. Bump. Boy, these farmers, the most underrated workers in the world, aren't they? They get up early in the morning, work all day, work all night, go to bed and repeat it just so that you can have food on the tables. Yeah. One thing, riding an old girder bike with a rigid rear end, you're always looking for potholes. Unlike today's bikes from the 50s and up, you're always, who cares? Hit a pothole. Another bump ahead. Oh, well. Okay, well that's it. I just got to go up here to the stop sign, turn right, and head through Tweed and head home. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little ride aboard my 31 Ariel. And once again, remember, ride them and don't hide them, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.